You know, at most shows you can see where the mosh pit's kind of gonna be.
And you get on the edge of it.
Yeah, and you get on the edge of it, and sometimes it goes around you, or it gets pushed in, or it bumps into you, and sometimes you have to step a couple back. And okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't tell at Woodstock '99 where it was going to be.
And it would probably
Yes,
travel
it
too.
did travel, and invariably you find yourself in the middle of it, whether you're trying to be or not. So you learn pretty quick how to, make room. Is I guess how I thought of it always was. If you start throwing elbows and knees and feet, people tend to go, hey, and they get out of your way a little bit. Unless they're throwing elbows and knees too, in which case, it's all about who starts throwing the bows first. So you start moving your elbows around, people tend to go, what? Oh, this guy needs a little bit of room.
Well,
but it was.
I've been at concerts where I needed a little bit of room, but back in the day when we had. There wasn't a mosh pit at the first Woodstock, for instance.
Right.
See, we didn't have mosh pits back then. I mean, people did roll around in the mud some and what have you, but people didn't beat on each other. You'd slam into one another.
It's a relatively new phenomenon, a social phenomenon.
I'll tell you this. The first time, when I used to work at the Metroplex and we had slam dancers and stuff, there was all that going on. And the first time we had a metal band come through, and when we saw our first headbangers, we did not know what
they were doing.
Yeah, I mean, because all the punks always came to all our shows, and there was a show and that was booked, and I think there was a punk band and probably there was a metal band, right? And this metal band had a following of headbangers, but the headbangers had never been at the Metroplex. Now all the punks were there, and I think we opened up with the headbangers and the with the metal band, and the metal band started playing, and all of a sudden this whole row of headbangers went up to the front of the stage, and we got to take these off, yeah. And they start giving it this. They're doing this, and then another row of headbangers filed behind them, leaned up on the other headbangers, and they're doing that, and the punks are like, well, what are they doing? That looks a bit peculiar, And I was watching this guy from Chicago. He used to be in a punk band in Chicago called Life Sentence. And he worked for us for a while at the club. And I was watching him, and he was standing off to one side, and he was looking down the front of the stage, down the row of headbangers, and they're all like doing this, and he's one of those that would dance like this,
Right.
You've seen that routine. And so he gets to doing this, and he's doing his little dancing around thing, and all of a sudden he takes out running, and he leaps up onto the back of the headbangers, and he runs across the. He runs across the back of the headbangers, giving it this thing, He's doing this thing, little DRI man, and he's like little, and he runs across the back of the headbangers, and he jumps off, and he bounces up, and he runs back runs right across all the headbangers, and giving it. And so it was like, aha, a punk has figured out what headbangers are for. They incorporate them into their moves. That's true. That was cute. I guess you'd have been there,
Well, I mean, it's anything that makes a punk stop and go.
What?
Yeah, that's. Because from what I understand, they put a lot of effort into it, so.
Yeah. Well, that is true. It bared a resemblance to an illicit sexual activity.
Right.
And the punks just, I mean, they were like, this is really peculiar. Also, have you heard we get a rerun? Have I told you about the rerun?
I've seen the rerun.
Did you?
Yeah.
Which one did you see? What
I
night?
seen one with me on it, and
You did?
one of your Friday reruns.
Wow.
Yeah, at 2 o'clock in the morning.
All right. So you saw the sexually explicit rerun.
Once again, we have to.
He puts his hand over the wrong camera.
So if for 3, if you want to know what's going on behind my hand, you must tune back in at, what would it be? 4:20. Actually, it's 4:20 a.m. right now.
Oh, so it's time for the 420 roll, is it?
It's 4:20 a.m. right now.
Okay, all right, here we go. What have we got on? I don't even know, but we're just going to roll it. Whatever. We just hope we got something in here. Yes, we do. Let me see. Okay, here it is. The 420 roll. Dun dun dun. Actually, that's not going to be because I started this whole thing really late because I didn't.
Well, we're in the future.
You know what I'm saying here?
We're in the
That's
future.
right. Oh well, we're still doing it. We're still doing something here. Da 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 da. Oh, why does it look like that?
You just made us negative.
It's 420.
Oh, if I do that, how's that? There you go. We all know this is. We don't know what time it is. We get lost in time and space around here, as you know. But if we weren't lost in time and space, and if this were actually 4:20 in the a.m., but it's not 4:20 in the a.m., it's really more.
So it's going to be less than? It's 420
yeah,
coming up?
it's not. Yeah, so we would look like this. You like that? So there we have it.
So it's going to be about 4:17.
So you started
No,
late.
not even 4 o'clock yet.
Wow, you started recording real late.
I started after the PSA, dude. You're not on the rerun. I hadn't pushed the record button.
Very
Oh
well.
no.
Yeah.
that's
It's going to be about 3:30 then.
His show has a certain audience he's going for, and they probably wouldn't respond to it on the PSA too.
There we go. That's right. But anyway, if you have a problem with anything you see here, if you like what you see here, tell your friends and neighbors. And if you have a problem with what you see here, kindly keep your mouth shut, would you? All right.
Well put.
So that's
well
it.
said.
That's
well
it.
done.
Well, we're working on it. We're so excited. Whoa, yeah. We're so excited about the thing that goes off easy, you know. So excited.
Jesus.
People at home just can't imagine.
You think you know, but you have no idea.
Yeah, you don't know. It vibrates you to your core.
It sounds roughly like this. Ow! That's payback.
Oh my God.
Good headphones for you there.
That was actually worse than the real thing.
For all of you people that have been here while he's done that and almost spit your tea across the room or had a coronary or had to go change your pants afterwards because of his little auga horn. I just got him back. That was for you.
I can change
Did you
cameras.
see him take the headphones? He was like, oh. Lucky we're on at 4 in the afternoon because I'd be cussing you right now.
Let's see, we can do that. See?
Imagine if people's watching this 3:30 in the morning trying to be quiet while their wife's
Too
asleep.
late. Good.
I know.
Go
I was
to bed.
thinking about that because I don't.
Go to
the
bed.
way I've got it hooked up, I don't have the compressor in line with the recorded. So the playback is not as the sound is not leveled out as well in the rerun as it is in the original show.
Go to bed.
And so
If you're still up,
You're busted
Go
now.
to sleep.
You're busted now.
yeah. So I was thinking about that though. I was thinking about adding that to the mix to rewire this thing in such a way as the feed to the record deck also went through the compressor. And I have to look. I haven't looked. It was in my mind. I don't believe there are any. I don't believe there are inserts to the mains on the back of this. The main outputs.
don't believe there is.
I don't think there is. There's
No.
outputs there and
Outputs
outputs for the main left and right. There's output for auxiliary 3 and 4. I think there's 2 more things on there. I'm not sure. I'd have to look though. But if they happen to be inserts on the mains would be the answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
No. I don't know. I'll have to look at the block diagram to see because we're pulling the sound out of the record out.
Yeah.
So I'd have to look and see if it went there. You see what I mean?
I don't even think your mic's on.
Yeah, it is.
It's on standby.
No. Well. No. See, boom, boom. I think it's on. I think that would be standby. See.
Okay.
Let's see. And that was putting some. So you could hear those
You can hear
pops.
it popping.
We're putting some big pops on the air. We're doing that.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
You're busted again. You need to angle it a little bit. A little more.
I'm getting there.
Was it too dark?
No, it's just
No.
he was just saying that it gave it a weird aspect ratio.
Yeah. Now scroll it up.
Okay.
Somebody put a lot of work into making that little thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I think a screw, a little bit of paint, and a 5-cent flyer.
But I mean, why would they do that? Just to
We could use those over again too.
We
couldn't-
certainly
do we
could.
get to keep that, or are they
I'm
going to come back?
assuming
again?
that's been donated.
I see. Well, that's nice. Well, it's going to go here.
But you know what they say about assumptions.
Yeah, that's going to go here, and that we're going to have this guy. Are you familiar with this guy? I bet you never even heard of him, have you?
never
Or
heard
the
of him.
Trauma stuff. It makes no sense to you at
He is
all.
an Asheville reject. No, he's a film festival reject.
Actually, neither, right?
Lloyd Kaufman is neither.
Well, then what is he?
He is Lloyd Kaufman.
He's had the Lifetime Achievement Award.
That's right. He's been rejected for life.
Wow, they're going to give you drinks and watch films with Lloyd.
Yeah.
8 p.m.
When?
On Friday,
Tomorrow?
November the 9th. Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. After.
Tonight is the kickoff party at 9 p.m. tonight.
Is Lloyd going to be there?
I don't know. I don't know if he's
Speakeasy.
gonna be there or not. I don't think so.
It don't say he's going to be, but it does say he's going to be there tomorrow night. He's going to be there Saturday. He's going to be there Sunday. No, he's not going to be there Sunday. Just tomorrow night and Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, he's giving a lecture here, a master class at URTV Studios from 12 to 2. Now, how's that going to work with the filming of Mount Dungeon?
Mount Dungeon has been kind and gracious enough to lend us their space.
Cool.
For the whole day?
No.
Okay.
He's still going to do
There's
the live
nothing
show at 5, right? Live at 5 with Matt Howard.
Probably.
That's what he ought to call it, show, live at 5.
That's what I told him.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Every now and then they do accidentally call it live at 5.
Okay, now, wait a minute. What time does Lloyd do his show?
12 to 2.
12 to 2. Okay, so we're going to. So
11:30ish.
all right, so we're going to be an hour behind.
Correct.
Instead of coming in at 1, we're going to come in at 2.
But you're gonna
Well, and it'll take you 30 minutes to get
you're
everybody
gonna tape it, right?
filed out of there.
Well, I was going to come in
Do you
and
wanna
run
sleep
some
in?
maintenance on the equipment, you
Right.
know.
Right.
But and as much as the equipment is aligned pretty good right now, I was thinking about
You gonna sleep in?
I might. I don't know. We'll just see. You can handle that, can't you?
I can handle all of it.
All it needs is a camera set up at the back and turned on, and a tape.
I'll just sit there and go.
One close up, one wide shot.
You
Just switch
could-
back and forth.
You can do that. You'll need a microphone.
Oh, you
on
could
him.
put one in the front too and get the crowd. And then you can switch back
You
to
need
the
a
crowd.
microphone on him.
Like if he says something funny, switch to the crowd real quick, ha ha ha, and then switch back to him.
Or you could, but the tape will only last an hour, won't it?
That's true.
And he's a 2-hour gig.
I'll have to be quick. I have to be quick on the draw.
Oh my!
And it's-
Can you tape from the rolling deck
can I tape from
in
the,
Studio A in the control room? You can't rig it to send it an input.
no?
It only goes
No,
one way. It
yeah,
goes from
right,
the
exactly.
roll in to the
Right,
damn speaker.
right,
can roll
right,
this in
right,
there.
right. Yet another,
Oh.
yet another.
You can roll this in there and tape straight.
No,
to
you
DVD.
can't roll this in. I was told that this stays
Well,
in
that's what I
here.
was told too, but who cares?
Well,
you can roll it right in
It
there.
was
and
him.
tape
That
it.
told, it was him told me
I
that.
didn't tell you that.
You didn't tell me. You did too.
I did not.
So are you telling me
You told me you've rolled that in for
I did roll it in
All
there.
right.
So can I roll it in there anytime I want to roll it in there?
I would
Anytime
think
you
so.
want.
As long as this place in here's not busy.
Well, obviously, if there's nobody doing a show in
Well,
this,
when you say anytime you want, I need to make sure I'm clear and
well,
specific.
I wouldn't
with you.
want to roll it. I wouldn't want to roll it in there if somebody was using it in here. Now would
I
I?
don't know. It depends on the person. I've seen you. Your show's done.
They make.
I'm
he,
taking
ma-
this.
he makes me out to be mean, and I am not.
No, not mean. Who can be
Look at
mean?
that.
when
You
it-
should keep moving around because between your shirt jiggling and stuff, it just is.
But you could record right
See
straight
that?
to
You-
DVD.
that wild
here.
looking. Do the chicken dance.
I don't know how to do the chicken dance. How do you do the chicken dance?
Just bounce
Just do the
around.
chicken
Oh, you
dance.
want me to do that? Have a
Here, we're taking.
A little bit faster.
Let's do it again.
No.
I saw that you reverted to the co-host a little earlier in the show today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him his one little root.
All right.
I don't like the chicken bunny. I wish he sang a different song. Why can't
Well,
he
which
sing?
do you like best, the chicken bunny or the ooga horn?
I like the oogle horn.
You like the ooga.
Except when I'm in here. I don't like it when I'm in here.
Nobody
I
likes
like it when I'm at my desk, but I don't like it when I'm actually in here.
Uh-huh. So is Pat here, or she's not here, is she?
No, I'm just holding down the fort.
I'm just wondering if we're. Oh, so you can do this like on your shirt thing that I
That's
do.
wicked, yeah.
You like put both hands on your shirt and run them up and down like that, and see you can make it.
You know what I would do if I ate the chicken bunny? I would go, that was good. You're
Yeah.
fired.
Are you a vegan, vegetarian, or a meat eater?
A vegan, a vegetarian, or a meat
Guess
eater?
I'm a meat eater.
Are you? Are you?
I'm omnivore. How about yourself? You're an omnivore, aren't you?
Yeah, I love meat.
Mm-hmm.
Good old fashioned red meat. No, I was just wondering because I've seen that the sale of the tofu turkeys have finally hit their 1 millionth
Turkey.
turkey. Or what tofu? Or
I ate one last.
Tofurkey.
Tofurkey.
Tofurkey is what it's named. And
Yeah, I ate
you gotta
one.
be careful with that name, like Fuddruckers.
I ate one.
Exactly. You can say it wrong. And
I ate one last year at. I went to Jen's house for Thanksgiving, and of course that was the tofurkey.
Well, I understand that they
And
taste somewhat the same. They say meat eaters can definitely tell the difference, but
well,
you know,
people who don't eat meat can't, right?
right. So anyway, so
I know that
I-
doesn't make
I
sense.
know,
but
I know what you're saying, but it
I
is what somebody
Yeah.
like that would say.
I sliced me up some nice pieces of tofurkey and started chomping down on that like I would like real turkey. And I'm like a big eater. I will even say an overeater. And particularly for something like, I really like turkey, you know.
Mhm.
And so I was chomping down the tofurkey, which wasn't quite getting it like turkey, but I had sliced off all this big chunks of it, so I was going to eat
So
it, you know.
don't eat it.
So
kind of like you're drinking that old kerosene there.
Mm.
Kerosene
See
in a
now,
jar.
usually my tea gets good rave reviews,
It
and
usually does. That might be the first non-rave
Yeah,
review, actually.
but we're drinking kerosene today.
well, I'm trying something different. That's right. And
Well, let's don't change. I don't like change.
well, see, people have been bringing people
You're a
have been,
conservative, aren't you?
people have been bring,
No, I'm just
people have
fucking-
been bringing me people
I
have
couldn't
been bringing
resist,
me
though.
people have been bringing me some different teas and stuff. I thought we'd try some of them.
Just call me a Sasquatch Republican.
Sasquatch.
Latte Sasquatch.
I tell you what, the
Listen,
Leave a little
it's
hairball.
you, isn't it?
Leave a little hairballs.
It's you! You are the Latte Sasquatch!
Sasquatch Republican.
Oh boy.
Can we start a group called the Sasquatch Republicans?
I think you can just shorten that to Republicans and
Anyway, and anyway, what was I talking about? Help me, please.
tofurkey and
Tofurkey. So I ate a bunch of that tofurkey, which wasn't all that hot.
and you pretended to like it.
I imagine
No,
with
no,
a big
I have-
bite of tofurkey, a big bite of dressing, and a big mouth of tea, it probably tastes the same.
No, it doesn't taste the same, and I never have gotten to get the ending out of it. But what happened was, I hurt afterwards. I felt bad. Yes, it didn't work well with my digestive system. It's you know.
Did you have some?
No, it just hurt. It just was not happy in my
Did you have
stomach.
some tofurkey Rhea?
No, I didn't have tofurkey rear, but I had unhappy gut. You know, just unhappy gut. It was just it was not. It wasn't. You know. Okay. You know how after Thanksgiving dinner you sit back and all the
Unbutton the pant, you know.
what is it, tryptophan in there and stuff like that, and you're like you know, and you just sort of you're like
Beads of sweat fall off.
you're blitzed out by having eaten all this turkey and stuff, and that effect wasn't. It was like,
So the moral of the story is don't eat tofurkey.
I'll not. I'll have no turkey for me, thank you. No more turkey for me. I've been there, I've done it. No more turkey for me, thank you. Don't mean to plug or unplug anybody's product. You know, it's just that I'll take the type of turkey with feathers on it, and the rest of you can eat what you want.
I'll definitely eat the turkey with feathers on it.
You do? You eat turkey with feathers
I
on
eat
it?
turkey with feathers on it.
Man, you gotta start plucking birds. That's what I was trying to tell him
take the
earlier.
feathers off.
Pluck
Take
the
the feathers
bird,
off.
pluck the bird, take the feathers off. Did you hear what was it? The man of food bank says to come and donate turkeys.
God, he's doing it again.
And so we were assuming that they didn't seem to specify dead or alive. You know, so if I was thinking if we could donate a lot of live birds to that,
Take a cage full of live turkey.
and I'm thinking that when they get to handing those turkeys out, that it could be a wild scene. I know some of the homeless. So some of them are my friends. You know, and
I can just see some guy chasing a turkey down.
I know they're bound to get some of them get away and get out the door. And here comes the one.
That's my bird!
Here's the one-legged guy after his turkey, you know, and what have you.
Catch that bird!
I know we need to donate some turkeys to
Somebody
them
get me a BB gun.
and go video it. We need to donate turkeys and then go video the handing out of the turkeys. It could be good if they don't pluck those birds ahead of time and stuff. You know, it would. Are you okay now?
Yeah, but it's a very funny visual image.
I can just imagine that.
It is.
Gobble, gobble.
Because what if they had like 100 turkeys to hand out, you know, and they put in the, you know, it's a regular thing, you know, come get your turkey and all this, and everybody showed up but the one thing everybody forgot to mention is they're still alive.
They're still alive.
Bring your hatchet.
And here's your turkey. Walk. Here's your turkey. You know, where do you hold it at? Hold it by the feet. Here it goes, and it's flapping wings. What happened?
I was trying to think of a Thanksgiving song I could sing while you were talking about that, and then I realized there really isn't a Thanksgiving song, is there?
Well, we need to write one. We need to write a Thanksgiving song for the Turkey Day.
So should that be the mad scientist mission for the next couple of weeks?
Well, I think we could make it the mission of all of URTV.
All of it. So, what's the prize?
The prize is you get to come on the Mad Science Tea Party and sing your.
Yeah, we have a lot of musicians in Asheville. I think we
do.
could probably pull this off.
I'm thinking, does Rat Jackson want to come in? How many members are in Rat Jackson? Do you know?
I don't know. They're all brothers.
Well, I was thinking, does Rat Jackson want to come in and perform on? Have you heard their latest tune on their little jukebox on their space? I went to their space. I heard their little tune on their jukebox.
I very rarely.
They got some videos on this in my band.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
You uploaded them for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm coming closer and closer every day. I have had it. I'm going to tell you what. Computers were invented to
Frustrate.
Yeah, to frustrate the mind of man. I'm telling you what, I have had it. And I'm about to get enough software back on my computer that I can edit things, not exactly the way I like to, but I can get the job done. And
That's why they call them confusers.
yeah. And so I'm getting.
I wouldn't know what to do if I had to live in a time without computers.
Well, you're in computer world, aren't you? Do you work on computers all day long? Do you sit at home and sit in front of a computer? Did you know that's not healthy?
Well, that's my job.
I didn't start having my heart attack. Well, I didn't have heart attacks that actually made me go to the hospital until I started sitting in front of the computer.
I run on a treadmill every day and stuff.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Do you do that while you're working on a computer or not? Okay, well, have I told you about my vision of the future?
Having a computer on a treadmill or something like that.
Not exactly.
The treadmill or
No,
treadmill
it's a roll-up screen that you could hang on the wall there, maybe with thumbtacks or even with some masking tape or something. You know, or thin roll-up screen, printed on LED kind of screen, flexible, organic LEDs, which the technology is here.
Well, they're already making them in
Are they?
Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and people in the future look at that. Oh, that's gone. See, by the time I tell anybody to look at it, it's gone. But it goes into this herringbone pattern.
Oh well.
I was not trying to be humorous. Let's see what's the. Let's see what's the. Oh. Let's see. We can do this right here. Let me see what the best. No, that won't help, will it? Oh, well. I was going to try to get us more on the thing, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. And the vision of the future is that people will not, what I call, mouse their way. People will not mouse their way through the internet and stuff like that. Instead, they'll stand in front of their screen. They'll listen to music like the trance we were psytrance and things like that. Things that and like run in place. They'll exercise. They'll do like if you will aerobics to trance music, computer generated music for the masses that will have such a driving beat that it will impel one to impale one I forget the word. I have word problems. Okay, but anyway, it will compel one to move. You see what I mean? And so they can do freestyle Tai Chi, or we're not supposed to hear that, I think. So they can do freestyle Tai Chi, or they can do some kind of a trance dancey thing or something like that, while and shoot at the screen with their. That's why I have the ray guns. Mm-hmm. Okay, these were the ray guns were my prototypes for the future of what maybe used instead of a mouse is and I think the ray gun will be very popular. Some people will want a 6-shooter because they'll have like a Wild West fantasy or something like that. But I just think that a Jetson style ray gun would just be a cool thing to have. Some people might just want a very modern looking pointer device, and can run their mousy stuff that way while at the same time moving and stuff. And they might bring in some special effects so that they could see themselves moving as part of it on the screen while they're going through and looking at the internet. You see what I mean? And all that kind of stuff. But it would keep them healthy. And that dance game they do where have you seen that at the mall and different places in the arcades where they put quarters in the machine and then they have to step on the different colored things and it makes them do a little dance as they do that. Things like that, And once they learn the little dance, well, they can just do it up a storm,
Oh yeah, they can get out in the middle of the street and dance.
Uh-huh. But I thought those were good things. Those are good aerobic exercise devices, and they make you have to think really fast because as the lights blink, you got to put your feet on there and do that. I would never even try it.
Do you think they'll ever be able to come up with
holographic images? Yes, in several different ways, but you just mean an out in the air holograph?
Yeah.
I understand they already have such things. I've not really seen one though, have you?
I've never seen one either. But I don't know. I mean, you would almost have to have, I don't know how you do that unless you had 2 light points that just one uses the other for the screen. I mean, because obviously the way
I think
they
have to project them into smoke.
Yeah, the way we know of light, you have to have something to project it on.
Yeah, I think they have to project them into smoke or fog or some kind of, I think they have to use like a little fog machine or something and do them off that way. But I've not seen one, and I don't know of any. I think that what is the common thing is like a little pair of goggles, what my friend used to call iPhones, and not the kind of iPhone like we have nowadays, but the making fun of headphones, that instead of where you listen on headphones and you can sound like you're in anywhere, but the iPhones and the technology is here. Some of it's right up there. Those are high resolution little monitors when they work, but very high resolution little monitors because it's getting smaller and smaller, but so high resolution monitors, they're very close to your eye, but with lenses in such a way as to make it so you can focus on them. You see what I mean? And so it's a little thing close to your eye, but it looks like a great big thing. As a matter of fact, it could basically take up your whole field of vision. You see what I mean? And then when you tie the two of them together, you see you can make it totally 3D. You could fiddle with those once you got them on and stuff like that. You could adjust until they lined up and they were right. You see what I mean? And once you got them right, you should be good to go. I don't know why they're not here now.
I don't know either. They have those virtual reality games and stuff, but they're not your complete field of vision. In fact, they stay out here a little ways. Well, in fact, actually the screens are like right here, and then it focuses with mirrors to your eye, but you can still see light, and you can still see what do they call that, that part of your vision, your peripheral. You can still see all that. But like you said, if they had something that fit right up against you, that took the movie could take the whole field of view. So if you look up, you're actually seeing what the camera would see if it was actually there. Now I'm not talking about moving your head up; that would require different technology. But when you're sitting there watching a movie and you're looking around, you're seeing a whole. That would be one heck of a movie experience, wouldn't it?
Right. I don't know why. As far as I can see, the technology's here. I don't know what the deal is.
And then, of course, Japan's got that screen now that's a sheet of paper. It's like a sheet of paper. They can roll it up.
Do you remember that stuff that came out some years ago? And when I say that, I'm talking about like 20 years ago or more. I think they used to send me records in it for 45s and stuff, but there were little envelopes. But it's kind of pearly looking stuff, and it looks like very thin shredded plastic squeezed together and stuff. But it's real tough. You can't tear it. It's like paper that you can't tear.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was thinking that would be the perfect substrate or whatever the back to print those things on because it's very tough. It's thin as paper, rolls up. It's some kind of high tech paper, and so it's some kind of a high tech paper that was very tough that they could print on, and even if it needed a slick surface, one surface of that could be a solid sheet of thin plastic that was slick or whatever, and to print on and print those LEDs, and that's what they've got in Japan though is they've got a roll screen now.
Yeah, and
organic LEDs.
And I think they're still having a few problems with it, but I remember seeing it on G4. I don't know, 6 months ago maybe.
Yeah.
And like I say, it was like a sheet paper. They literally just rolled it up. And
now what is G4? Is that
that's the old it used to be ZDTV.
What?
Used to be ZDTV, and then it was Tech TV.
Tech TV.
G4, yeah.
Okay, so they're still doing some tech stuff on there.
Excuse me.
Haven't seen it in about a year now. You know what I mean?
They still do a little bit of tech stuff on there. Mostly it's games and just a bunch of crap now.
Yeah.
But every once in a while you'll still catch some technical stuff on there. But I
if you
wish
need some
never,
more napkins, I have some.
No, I'm fine.
Look it up.
I wish they never got little Leo. I liked Leo.
Yeah.
And,
he was good.
I talked to him many times.
That was you, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Calling in.
I did call in a bunch of times. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
And I was on the show a couple of times with my net cam, and I was also on the show with Michaela and I can't think of his name now. He went off to start doing Sasquatch. He actually left ZDTV before it changed. He
go chase the latte Sasquatch.
No, he was big in the Sasquatches. He wanted to do a documentary about it, so he left ZDTV to do that. But they had a nightly show that come on after Call for Help.
Yeah.
It was on from.
Right. And you called in on call for help.
I did call in,
Yeah.
but I was on their show. I did some magic on their show, and
Oh, yeah.
I featured one of my businesses that I had at that time, magicpalace.com, onto their show, and
Where was the Magic Palace? Was it just the internet company?
it was an internet company,
Okay.
yeah, and did that from my house in West Asheville, and News 13 came over and did a story. They were there while I was doing it live on, because they did it live to tape, and while Call to Help was on, they did their 30-minute show, and then they just played it at 9, no editing or whatsoever, and so starting at 8 o'clock, I had to wait a little bit, and then they told me I was on the phone, and that's how we talked to them, was through the phone, but you could see through the camera. And they told me, you're up next, and so I was up, and then I had to do the whole thing. And then they played it at 9. 9 o'clock
Did you?
at night.
Do you still sell magic stuff? Or
No, it's a big long story, but I got out of it many years ago. Yeah,
Okay.
it got surprisingly enough, it got fairly popular. I had regular customers from Canada and all over the United States.
Well, magic stuff has always been popular. I mean, as a kid, I always loved it. I'm sure you did too, or you wouldn't have got into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now my boys are big into it, but yeah, it was doing all right. But and the Asheville Citizen Times wrote up a big story about me. I'll have to bring the article in.
Yeah, kids now always love some magic, won't they?
Yeah, and we got to see David Copperfield and Lance
I heard
Burton.
that. You saw him just before he
And
got into all that
before he got in
trouble.
all that trouble, yeah. And my oldest son Randy, he got to do some magic with Lance Burton up on stage,
Oh yeah,
and so we got pictures and stuff.
he was a
of that.
volunteer from the audience.
Yeah, and he got to do some magic. So
What did he get? Did he get a coin pulled out of his ear or something? Or what?
no, I don't remember what it was. Now that he did, I can't remember. But we got some pictures and stuff. It was pretty cool for him, and he got it. Lance gave him an autographed picture and stuff for helping him.
What do you make of this Copperfield situation?
I make of it about the same as I make of any of those other stars that end up getting sued or in trouble.
It's because they're high
Just
profile.
because they're high profile, they got a lot of money. They're just easy targets. At some point in time, everybody that's in the limelight like that, at some point in their life, will end up getting sued or something.
Seems like that's the way it's going
That's
down.
the way it
doesn't
goes
it?
down, and I tell you what, everybody on this planet makes mistakes, and they're just so high profile that their mistakes get aired,
Right.
and and they end up getting sued or something over it. And even if it's not a mistake, now you got Keanu Reeves getting sued because he ran over the foot of a lady paparazzi. Now and my theory is, don't get that close to my car. You have no business being at my tire trying to take pictures of me when I'm trying to pull out of a parking lot. That's my
Right.
theory. But now she's suing him, and of course he'll end up having to settle it out of court just to get rid of it.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is a true story. I was downtown. And I was there was a guy I think playing a guitar and a girl playing a fiddle and maybe one playing a banjo. Okay, downtown in front of like where the bistro is or whatever. They're across from the monument, and there was an empty parking space there. Right in front of where they were playing, and in getting the light the way I wanted it, and in getting the sound the way I wanted it, and in getting the shot the way I wanted it, I wound up moving out into that parking space because that's where the light was coming from and stuff. And so I finally got the shot that I wanted, and I was doing it, and then a guy comes along and he wants to pull into the parking space, but now I'm standing there videoing this band, and he pulls right on in to the parking space, and I had my foot out, and he ran over my foot. This is the truth. With his front tire, he pulled his front tire up on my foot and parked on my foot, just right up to about here, like this much of my foot. From there down was under his tire. He parked his car, and I wasn't wanting to say, "Hey, you're on my," because I was filming, and I didn't want my screaming at him in the video I was making. This is like being in the mosh pit, but I got my foot actually parked on by a guy. He got out of his car and he went away. And then when the song was over, I turned off the camera, and I've got this guy's car parked on my foot, and I had to get my foot out from under his tire.
Did it hurt?
Not so bad. I was surprised that it didn't hurt any more than it did. It wasn't high enough up on the arched top of my foot to actually break a bone or anything. But it had the front half of my foot there all under his tire. I mean, it was under there to the point, I mean, it was hard to get it out, you know? And,
See, if that would have been me, I would have been like,
I wouldn't, you know,
I would have took the camera and said, "Hey, you parked on my foot. Lawsuit, lawsuit, lawsuit. Let me see your license plate. Lawsuit, lawsuit. You parked on my foot. Hey, what's your name? Where's your car? Is this your car? Where you live? Can I see your ID? Lawsuit, lawsuit." That's what I would have done.
Maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have just. I was
So
trying.
instead of making 50 cents on the video, you could have made a few million.
Well, now see, then that's the there you have it. But I'm sitting here thinking about the song.
Yeah, right.
You know, and I'm trying to get my light right. I'm trying to get my camera angle right. I'm trying to get the.
You're just a dedicated employee.
I'm trying to get the song, and I'm not wanting to interrupt this song because they got a good song going, and I'm, you know. And that's the artistic side of you. You know, you're doing it, and then
Not to me.
But it just seems to me that just seems rude to me to park on somebody's foot.
It does to me too. But
how badly do they need that parking space? They can't wait till I can finish that song or whatever it was. I mean, isn't a person in the parking space?
Aren't you aware that most people that are in cars are very impatient people, and hence why they drive and don't walk or ride bikes or are fat and overweight and.
Well, who wins in that situation though? I mean, legally, is it the car?
Legally, I think a pedestrian always wins.
yeah.
Always.
Yeah,
All right, so I should have.
Even like on the middle of a highway, like a pedestrian.
So I should have videoed my foot at least when the song was over. I didn't even think about it but when the song was over, I should have said, "And look, while I was standing here doing this song, this car has parked on my foot."
And I didn't stop.
Who's going to switch?
That's a shame I didn't do that. That's a shame.
Are you switching?